Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Glad to have everyone here this evening. Thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for coming out on the eve of the LA Auto Show, which is, as many of you know, the kickoff of the North American Auto Show season. And personally, I always enjoy this time of the year because we get a chance to take a look at a lot of new great products that are entering the marketplace. But more importantly, we at Mazda get to introduce some products here at LA, and it's a big show for us. As you'll see in a few minutes, we're adding an exciting new player to our lineup, which we believe will help maintain the powerful momentum Mazda's been building over the past few years. Now, these are exciting and important times for Mazda, specifically here in North America. So much so that our new president and CEO has joined us this week all the way from Hiroshima, Japan, to attend this Los Angeles International Auto Show. Now, while holding his new title for just over a year, he's been with Mazda for well over 3 decades. In that time, he's held numerous positions around the world and knows this company inside and out. It's my pleasure to introduce my boss, Masamichi Kogai-san. Thank you, Kogai-san, for coming up. And his trusty interpreter, Art Kobayashi. Thank you.
皆さんこんばんは。今ご紹介いただいたように LA のモーターショーに参加するために広島からやってまいりました。
Good evening, everyone. As Jim just introduced, I came from Hiroshima to participate in this LA Auto Show.
北米でのオートショーに参加するのは私実は初めてなんです。でもマツダにとってはですね、北米というのは本当に大事な市場なんですね。
So this is the first time I participate in an auto show in North America, but indeed, for Mazda, North America is a truly important market for us.
その私たちの大切にしている市場のオートショーで、我々の自信作中でもCX3 をですね、お披露目できるのは本当に嬉しい限りです。
So in such an important market, we have a lot of new products, amongst which I'm really happy to be able to show you the new CX3.
今日はですね、明日のオートショーでのお披露目にの前の日に、皆さん大切なメディアの皆さんにねおいでいただきましたから、こっそりと CX3 のデザインをお見せしたいと思います。
So on the eve of the motor show, you are important supporters and people we cherish. We'd like to give you an opportunity to get a sneak peek before the auto show of our new products.
この後のデザインチーム、グローバルのデザインチームにより、CX5 に込めた熱き思いのプレゼンテーションを行います。
So following my short comments, our global design team is ready to convey to you the passion that they instilled in designing our new products.
はい。もう私の退屈な、スピーチはこのぐらいにしまして、我々マツダのデザイン本部の責任者、執行役員の前田さんにバトンタッチしたいと思います。
So I don't want to bore you any further with my speech. I'd like to hand over, without further ado, to Mr. Maeda, who's our Chief Designer and Executive Officer of our company.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Good evening, everyone. How are you tonight? Good, great. You guys already started to drink. I'm not. But welcome. This evening has a special and important meaning for Mazda and Mazda Design. In 2010, we announced that Mazda will shift to a premium design direction, and we created Kodo as a theme. We launched our new design direction with the Shinari concept. Since then, we have applied Kodo design across a broad range of Mazda vehicles, including Mazda CX-5, Mazda 6, Mazda 3, and Mazda 2. And most recent, the all-new MX-5, as I'm sure you know. We launched the new MX-5 globally just a few weeks ago. And I was very pleased at how well it was received around the world. Today, we are here to unveil an entirely new vehicle from Mazda, again, showcasing Kodo design. Translated, Kodo means solo motion, and it's the sense of motion we want to convey in our vehicle design. To better show what I'm talking about, please take a look at this sculpture. This one, right side. This first one expresses natural movement with gentle reflections. You can see this is like a living things. This is origin of MX-5 design. While the other one, left side, please look at this. That features a sharp line conveying the movement with a sense of speed. This is the original form of the new product I will introduce later. When creating Kodo, I try to establish a consistent design aesthetic, which is easy to recognize, yet one that could be applied across an entire product line. Naturally, with each new product, Kodo continues to grow and evolve, becoming more sophisticated and more pure in its execution. And you can see the most up-to-the-minute interpretation of Kodo in this vehicle. Allow me to introduce the new MX-5 coming up. What do you think? Good. You love it. As you can see, Kodo translates beautiful to the latest MX-5. And after this event, I like nothing more than to take it for a drive along PCH. Probably no time, but, but here to explain how the design philosophy influenced the shape of this iconic car is the director of design, Mazda North America, Derek Jenkins. Hi, your turn.
Thank you, Maeda-san. You know, as a designer, it's been a tremendous honor to work on a project that has such a rich pedigree and a real popular following amongst enthusiasts and fans alike. But at the same time, it's an enormous challenge when redesigning the MX-5, because after all, we all know you're dealing with an automotive icon. I like to think that enthusiasts have an inherent understanding of what an MX-5 should look like, and we were very careful to understand that. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that we did something completely new, exciting, and contemporary. Looking at the car itself, you can see there are very few hard lines or creases. Instead, we worked at manipulating volume, creating and releasing tension at key areas of the vehicle to establish this sense of energy. Now, if you look at the overall form of the vehicle, you'll see that the car starts with a very, very low planted front nose that gives it that great stance. As you pull back on the fender, you see it peaks over the front wheel. And this creates a kind of tension that then flows back and dissipates through the door, through the body side. The tension then returns and peaks over the rear wheel. The body side then tapers to the back of the car, creating a very dramatic but clean look. But then you step back and look at the car and you see that the overall movement, the rear wheel is really pushing the car forward, giving it that very dramatic sense of speed and movement that Maeda-san talked about. Again, rather than lines and hard edges, we concentrated on controlling volume and proportion at various points of the vehicle to create the look that we wanted. By carefully sculpting the surfaces, we could control light and shadow at key points to create tension without gimmicks or complexity. All of this intrinsic attention to detail and sophisticated interplay creates a real balance of power and elegance. It's an approach that successfully blends both the contemporary with the classic. And I think it's a very simple look, but it's also a very bold look that artfully takes Kodo design to the next level and really adds that inherent movement that's critical for any great sports sedan, any great sports car. Now, this is only the current chapter in the Kodo design story, but we've got another big one to tell you tonight. So here again, to show you the next big thing, is Maeda-san. Maeda-san, come on back up. Tell them what they've won.
Thank you. Thanks, Dick. Kodo clearly translates well to the sports car like this X5. But obviously, it must do more than that. We are using Kodo to establish our overall brand design, but I want to use a single template on every Mazda vehicle. The strength of Kodo is that it gives us a variety of execution methods. As proof, we offer the entirely new Mazda CX-3. Please check this out. What do you think? It looks gorgeous. What do you think? You okay for it? The MX-5 and CX-3 are opposite end of the spectrum in terms of the form language and purpose and functionality. Yet, as you can see, the strong Kodo design influence are evident in each vehicle. Here to discuss the design of the new CX-3 in greater detail is the Director of Design, Mazda Motor Europe, Kevin Rice. What's your turn?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Maida-san. Now, this is an entirely new product in an entirely new segment. So it means there's no established look to fall back on or to refer to. It means we're breaking new ground, creating a new aesthetic, not just for Mazda, but for this new emerging segment as well. Now, looking at the two cars up on stage, I don't think you can have two more dissimilar vehicles than the new CX-3 and the MX-5. Yet I think you'll see that a common design philosophy is quite evident. With the CX-3, we had larger volumes and surfaces to contend with, but still needed to convey a sense of athletic grace and energy. We wanted the design to describe an agile, nimble vehicle that was perfect for crowded urban environments as well as weekend adventures in wide open spaces. Now please notice how the long hood and cab rearward design move much of the volume towards the rear of the vehicle, creating that sense of pent-up energy about to spring forward. Now the wheels, all four extreme corners of the car, which obviously helps the packaging, but not only that, it gives the CX-3 a planted look. As with the MX-5, we create sheer through the design of the front fender, the rear fender, and then release that energy again in the door area. But what's so unique about this car is that because we have so much volume here in the middle of the vehicle, we've been able to create this striking intersection, or what we call a twist transition, to give feeling of dynamic vitality and energy. But it's not just any old line applied to a surface. That would be the normal way most car companies would treat a car design. But it's rather actually the junction where the complete front and the rear volumes actually connect. Now, as Derek mentioned earlier, we go to great lengths to control the flow of light across the vehicle through the contours of the panels. In the case of the CX-3, this light pulls the eye way back, giving a feeling of power over the rear wheels and then accelerating the car forward, like we explained earlier. Now, this really works especially because we made this choice to fuse the two volumes exactly along this line. Now, I admit, these are all nuances that are only important in that they all contribute to the overall visual impact and impression of the vehicle, but we wanted to impress upon you the incredible attention to detail we apply to literally every inch of a vehicle. It allows us to create a design that makes a powerful statement about the Mazda brand as well as the vehicle itself. In this case, our unique Kodo design philosophy has allowed us to create a truly unique form of crossover expression. Now we're getting to that point in the evening where we're ready to wrap things up. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you if you'd all be so kind up on stage one more time, Derek and Maida-san. Many thanks.
Nice job. Okay, so I hope that after all that you've seen and heard, you can understand that a lot goes into translating Kodo design into our vehicles. Extensive experiments and studies, and of course countless drawings and sketches, and a lot of clay modeling, and much, much more. But I know I speak for all of us here on stage when I say this is our passion. It's our labor of love, and it's an honor and a privilege to be involved in the design process to create these cars. It is an incredibly exciting time at Mazda, and we believe that this latest generation of vehicles is more distinctive, more sophisticated, more aspirational than ever before in its history. And working with Mazda's global design team, we continue to evolve and define the look of this brand. Speaking of our global design team, I'd like to ask two additional very talented gentlemen to join us here on stage. The lead designer of the MX-5 interior, Julian Montese. Julian? Thanks, bud. If you haven't seen the interior, please take a look. And the very, very talented lead designer for the CX-3, Matsuda-san, all the way from Hiroshima, Japan. Okay, I think it's fair to say that Mazda is on a serious roll here. So tomorrow, please be sure to stop by the Mazda press conference at 10:30, where in addition to the MX-5 and the CX-3, we will also be unveiling thoroughly refreshed CX-5 and Mazda 6. Now, feel free to join us here on stage, take a closer look, check out the interiors. We're here to answer any questions. Have another drink, and please enjoy the night, guys. Thank you.
The camera, virtually unchanged for 100 years, until technology made it more efficient, when one man created the digital camera. Mazda made the CUV more efficient with SkyActiv technology.
This is a pirate transmission from District 13.
Hang on, Peter. We're still here.